Oh, good morning, Tartaria, Australia, and autodidactic. Hey, buddy. How you
Yeah,
going?
I'm
We
good.
didn't get raptured. We didn't get raptured.
I know,
No,
right? No,
we're,
nothing, no
st
such
we're
thing.
still here on Zoom.
We're back. We're back.
We
Uh,
got censored, but we didn't get raptured.
yeah, let's talk about the anthropomorphized beings, shall we call them? Yeah, work that one out. Pretty cool coming. Yeah, man, we got
So,
censored for talking about that, and litter trays and stuff. But the eclipse was cool, man. We looked at it for a bit without the glasses, like when it was fully. What's that word? I keep wanting to say fully dilated.
oh yeah, no, they had that
When it
terminology.
was
What
over.
was it? Um, it was
Full
a trippy.
totality, full
Oh,
totality.
that's right, full totalitarian.
Yeah,
What?
totalitarian
Classic.
man. But that was cool because then it just looks like just a fire ring. I've got a video I can show too because this is the thing. When the eclipse came, it came from the opposite side and direction than where the moon was.
Yep.
So it's not the moon.
Yeah, there's so many videos that come out of people staring at the camera on the eclipse and then panning over here and there's the moon.
Yeah.
Like there's so many videos now panning over and the moon's not there. It's actually in the sky. Like perfect juxtaposition.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean so like I mean that's good. Like I guess the consciousness of our community is caught up to that concept. Like it's not the moon. The
Mm,
moon, the moon's transparent. B, it's an energy
exactly.
body. It's not physical. It can't black out the sun. And certainly it can't black out the sun by going in front of it. And yet no one sees the moon approaching. No one sees the moon exiting. So suddenly
And,
the sun is black. And it's like,
sorry, I was just going to say, and it proves that the sun's not 66 million miles away
yeah,
because all the beams they tell us come in straight. So even if you like blacked out what we can see as the sun, there would still be it would be a minuscule amount of
yeah.
so it wouldn't darken. So yeah, man, that's we're all getting shown if those with eyes to see, right?
Yeah, so of course, obviously, there's a lot of gossip about the black sun going on and
Yes,
what the
that's
black sun is. What are your thoughts on the black sun?
yeah. As far as it being like the dark body, there's definitely something out there, right? That's spinning around on a different length orbit at least to the sun and the moon because it keeps crossing the paths. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It could be, right? It could be a black sun. It could be an old sun that's burnt out and it's just still floating around. Who knows? But there's something out there. There was a lot of talk years ago about the black satellite as well, which is supposed to be another body out there. So, I mean, most people should know on this channel that space ain't what they tell us, man. It's made in the Hollywood basement, right? And
Yeah,
apparently
Hollywood swimming pool.
in a really big swimming pool. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they're diving suits.
people are talking as well about the ISS. Why isn't it filming the eclipses and stuff? It's never
Yep,
filmed one,
yep.
right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
I saw this classic, excellent feed from NASA. Did you see it? Where
oh,
they show it's like there's a satellite, like you're on a satellite, and then there's the Earth, the round Earth is like really moving very quickly. And then there's this black cast, this black shadow that just goes over the Earth. And it looks so fucking retarded. It's like that, it just looks so dumb.
it's supposed
Like
to
you
show
couldn't
nothing behavior.
like our access to AI and art and motion supersedes what NASA's putting out right now. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
really bad.
it's like I've thought this for a while, man. It's like they're trying to tell us, but they can't tell us. They're like, come on, look how retarded this is. Can you not see it yet?
Yeah, it's so bad they're trying to tell. That's like when you pick up basically 99% of the food in the supermarkets and reading the ingredients, like they're telling you. They're telling you
Yeah,
what's in
yeah.
it. Like they're
I had a
telling you.
packet, I had a pack of Doritos the other day, and the ingredients, man, it was huge. I didn't read them all, but in like corn and oil, right? And it was just like, whoa,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So
man.
NASA is similar in my head to a box of cereal ingredients. That's
Yeah,
what NASA feels like to me. Looks
yeah,
like Cocoa Pops Looks like Cocoa Pops. It's got like 100 different ingredients of poison in it.
Yeah, looks fun and chocolatey, but death. Yeah, well, it's
Oh,
everything,
do you ever
right?
do you ever like nostalgically wish for that time when you were a child where you just like everything was just you just took everything as it was, like it wasn't something that you would do.
All
So,
the exciting and all. Yeah, yeah.
I used to get up on Saturday mornings very excited because I'd grab my bowl of Cocoa Pops. I'd turn on the television and there would be the Smurfs or
Cartoons,
whatever
man.
random cartoon I was watching. And as I grow through that, it became like the music, like a Rage in
Into
Australia. It was
rage. Yep,
Rage.
yep.
And then, the top 20 countdown, like that was like Saturday mornings for most of my childhood. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
blissful.
what was it? Video hits, man. Video hits.
Yes, that's right. Oh, the good old days. And now, of course, all that music's fucking demonic. All the subliminals are fucking poisonous. The food's poisonous. Like the cartoons have, sex symbolism all the way through it. It's like, damn.
It was so innocent back in the day, wasn't it?
Well, look, nothing happened. So we made an occasion of the eclipse, not because we were anticipating anything happen. I knew that Australia wouldn't be able to see anything, and I wasn't anticipating, but just to start to mark these occasions on our, I just wanted to be. I personally want to be awake and conscious when any sort of like alignments like this happen, whatever it is, whatever the reason, from here on in. So,
Hmm.
we had a girls' sleepover. Some friends came over and we sort of like got the fire on and camped out for a
Well,
bit.
it was a very girl energy, I'm guessing, like the moon conquering the sun, right? The
Okay.
evening.
The moon conquering the sun. That's like a paradox. Yes. So
Not always the
anyway,
moon, but
yeah. We got up, we filmed, and then we went to sleep for 2 hours and we got up at 3. And then we just hung around just to see if anything did happen. Of course, nothing did happen. And except for the fact that we were watching the live feed from America, that there was lots of live feeds and live feeds over each place where it was eclipsing. And at the same time, the sun was rising here, so it was just like that was a trip. So to actually see the sun rising here and apparently it's eclipsed, where you are, that was a trip. That was probably the most interesting part of it, just
yeah,
to see sort
yeah,
of
that's
like how
interesting.
that works.
Again, yeah, I
Yeah.
I guess it's some kind of perspective, if unless we got two suns, right? Who knows, man? Maybe we've
Well,
got two suns, and maybe they go out for 12 hours and they become the black sun going around the back, right?
I don't know, because you would think at the very like exact moment it was eclipsing, there would be like a some impact on the sun rising here. There'd be some
Mm,
impact, at least a little wobble in the sun rays or something. But
yeah,
no, nothing like that. It just was consistently rising, and the eclipse was consistently eclipsing. It was just like, okay, two parallel universes going on. So that's
yeah.
the only exciting element of that experience. But it was still fun. I hope everyone else had fun marking the occasion. So of course we're on to it's the 8th today, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. So we're 4 days into the rapture right now, according to the biblical
Yep.
prophecies.
And they hit on the
And that,
18th, 18th
yeah, so
month, yeah.
on the 18th, ironically, those who are coming to Bosnia with us will end up on the last day of the rapture in the Bosnian pyramid. That's the actually times with our exact arrival to the Bosnian pyramid. So that's interesting.
It's going to be a good place to get for that. I mean, yeah, yes. And unfortunately, tickets are now closed. So there's no more tickets available because we're
Yeah.
leaving. I'm leaving in 6 days and you're leaving in about 2 weeks. And the
Yeah.
whole thing starts in 3 weeks on the 5th.
Woohoo.
Yeah, man.
Yep, how exciting. I mean, I've been observing the world. Like, probably the only questionable element to all this is like as we study ancient like history, it does denote that, when there is an eclipse like this, there tends to be between that date and 6 weeks forward some sort of natural or, some sort of disaster, a
Yeah.
big disaster.
I heard there was a earthquake in Taiwan, I think it was.
Yeah, so the earthquakes are happening all around at the moment. Like obviously, as the eclipse was unfolding around you, New York had 3 or 4 little earthquake wobbles. They're at about the 4.4 mark, and that's like unheard of in New York. So that was notable. And then also notable, if we look at the omens, there was like these giant, full-on 6 feet oarfish. Did you see them? They were like they're these like 6 feet, they're translucent, they've got all these colors going on in them, they've got holes in them, like big holes. And they come up from the deep, deep, deep ocean. And they only come up when there's an earthquake on the like
Oh, the
horizon.
bottom okay.
So they've come up around the coast of Japan. And then we had in off the coast of Taiwan, there was all these fish that were coming up and spinning in a circle non-stop, and that's spinning until they were dying, basically. And again, that's sort of like usually an omen for some sort of seismic activity underwater. So that's basically, and then of course the wobble on New York. So I mean that's sort of like on the Ring of Fire, that sort of platonic plate. So that's noticeable. Just to look at the omens, that's also been happening. I
Yeah.
think one of the volcanoes in Italy erupted and was blowing smoke rings out of Gandalf's pipe. That was another. Did you see that? There were literal smoke rings.
Wow, how cool.
Man,
I'm gonna
Campbell's
be
been
there.
away.
I was offline for 2 weeks pretty much. I mean, sent a few messages, but yeah, man, it was good. It was interesting being offline, it's worth doing. Obviously, you can come back to watch my videos and Tartaria Australia, but yeah, no, it's good. Like I got a lot of writing done, got a lot of reading done, but it's interesting because you just start like going, oh, what do I do? Because and everything even like to check the weather and stuff, it's like, oh, I need a device, right? Like so everything. It's you see how dependent we've become on
Mm,
the one information source, right? Which is really
yep,
kind of what it is.
yep,
Of course. Yeah, no, so
yep.
that was good. Been having
So
my ice
and
baths and
yeah,
saunas. Are you still having your
yep,
ice baths?
yeah, yep, yep. I don't get an option. I get harassed and bullied if I don't do it. Um, also notable with the eclipse is which I just told Campbell about because he didn't actually know this. But on the day of the April 8th eclipse, which of course we got all that context about CERN starting up and doing its thing on the day of the eclipse, right? And they had a few gross theatrical rituals going on. But actually, curiously, on the day of the eclipse, the guy who created the whole theory of the Higgs boson particle, which is we call the God particle, that
It
CERN was
is.
specifically looking to explore exactly during the eclipse, died. So, yeah, just so Higgs, the inventor of the God particle, died on the day of the eclipse.
Yeah.
And he is essentially the foundational inspiration for CERN. So I don't know if they sacrificed him or they shot him through a portal or, he ended up in some other
Oh
realm. He's
wow.
going to
He
return
was
as some
he was
biblical being.
94 though.
Huh?
He was 94. He
He
was an
was
old.
94.
Yeah, yeah. Discovered
Yeah,
it
he was old.
both of them in 2012, died April 8th, age 94. So there's
Yeah,
probably
but
some symmetry in there somewhere for you number people.
what are the chances though?
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
the sort of shit that just pisses you off, right? Like
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
sort
It's
of
like one of
alignment.
those weird
Yeah.
coincidences.
So annoying. And also in Australia, there's been this last week, there's been a whole pile of random public figures that have died suddenly. So
Really?
that's just an
Who's
oddity
died?
as well. Yeah, well, it's a Channel 7 reporter. What was
I
his
think
name?
I saw
Nathan
you post
Templeton.
that. Yeah.
Yep, he passed away. And then we've got some sport player from um the girl version of soccer, the girl version. They've got a name.
It's not the Socceroos, the something Roos, no doubt. The
Yeah.
Wallabies? I don't know.
They're very popular. They're the female version, and everyone was very shocked at this happening. So, and then there was another person also in the news realm that passed away suddenly. So, yeah, that's just all been happening.
And all young by the sounds of it, or not, old in.
Yeah, all pretty young. Yep, 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 yep. So that's all going on. And also, I don't know if you heard about the you know that bridge incident in America where the
Gosh,
tanker took out the bridge and the bridge was being exploded at the same time, and
what?
you remember
No, I didn't hear
the
that one
cargo
either.
ship. Yeah, the big cargo ship that actually ran it, like it lost power and ran into one of the pillars of the Boston Bridge. Was it Boston? I think it was Boston. Um and it's a really significant bridge because it's like there's only there's only six avenues in America that can take like waste hazard and sort of more like dodgy things drive them, and this bridge was one of those pathways, so it's knocked that out anyway. But like, so you didn't know about this? Yeah, how did you
Oh,
not know
man.
about this? You
I've,
fucking, where
I've
have you
been off.
been? Oh my
That's the thing,
God.
right? Offline, man.
Oh, right. Well, here I am to update you. So this tanker cargo ship went in and lost power, hit one of the pillars, and then systematically within a few seconds the whole bridge collapsed. But yeah, of course they've overanalyzed the video now and they've seen explosions, like explosions right up through as suddenly just dismissed. But the reason I bring it up is because the guy who owns, I guess, the bridge, who has taken a $1 trillion insurance policy off the bridge incident, was the same guy who cashed out $3.5 billion on the World Trade Tower insurance policy. How's that?
Wow.
What's his name? Larry Silverstein.
Yeah, and he did something on the World Trade Towers where they're actually insured twice, so he got paid out
Yep.
twice. Yeah.
Yep.
Jeez, man.
So, yep, that went on.
Yeah,
Just so annoying, isn't it?
he's growing, broken up in his career path, right?
And
Looking
then
into the trillions.
there's a lot of cases of birds like dying, lots of like big flocks of birds is falling from the sky and dying. There's like all these reports of beetle plagues that have like just swarmed beetles, not your normal like grasshoppers, but like beetles that have swarmed in and just died, like in the hundreds of thousands. Poof. Like there's been a lot of omens in nature the last couple of weeks, for
Wow.
sure. Yeah,
Wow.
so
That's
there's
Jay's next show.
there's definitely stuff occurring and happening. Yeah, so I mean, I guess for Campbell and I, like the only way we can really find any sense of what's coming is to study the signs in nature. I mean, at least in nature, there's no there's no rhetoric, there's no
Oh no,
God.
there's
It's just there's
there's
no
no
lords.
agenda. Yeah, there's no rules.
The Beatles, there's their direct relationship to our atmosphere, to our environment. There's a direct relationship. So
Mm.
as there's some sort of like movement or shift or change in our atmospheric pressure or our natural environment, then it's nature that's going to like show you what's happening. And so yeah, I mean there's definitely some signs
Mm.
going on in nature that things are not as harmonious and balanced as they have
Yeah.
been
Well,
potentially.
those
Yeah.
fish near Japan sound a bit ominous, don't they?
Yeah. So obviously we're getting quite a lot of signs that there is a bit of movement going on and a bit of a shift and change. So, it wouldn't like I would not be surprised at all if we like over the next month seeing some dramatic. I mean, I think the last eclipse of 217, I think that time with New Orleans, was it New Orleans? Let me just check that up before I make a statement like that.
Years ago. Wow. New Orleans. But yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
and there was also Japan. When was it? Oh no, that was 2005. Geez. When was the tsunami?
Fukushima, yeah. Yes.
When was the last? That was 2011. Anyway, I definitely watched a piece relating the eclipses that have been with disasters that followed in the next 4 to 5 weeks after that. So, I mean, I think just worth noting and looking out for. And yeah, I mean, yeah, anyway, but that's not what the show's on, Campbell. Let's talk about something more fun, like my bitchy attitude towards the Lord right now. That's like more fun. I was
Yes,
feeling quite, yeah.
yeah, I've never liked the word the Lord. Well, I think it was because the Bible, right? If you read Genesis, there's two creation stories in there, man. First one, God creates Adam and Eve from the dust of the earth. And the second one, the Lord creates Adam and then he creates Eve from Adam's rib, which is clearly a bit of a, male dominance thing. The Lord man speaking and pushing around his male bloody privilege. God.
I mean, like obviously with all this energetic and focus on the repentance, the rapture, obviously our last show. So our last show got censored. I can't believe it. This is our
So,
first
yeah,
show
and
ever.
it might have been some of the talk about, so let's be careful, right? About the Bible. I don't know, but you just never know what YouTuber are in. Like they don't send me an email and say, from now on you can't talk about people who think they're another species. But they're obviously on that, and we had a big discussion about it. And yeah. So if you want to see that
Yeah.
full video, watch the old one, and the link to Rumble is underneath with the full unedited version.
Yeah, because we were just theorizing on the concept that the which
Mm,
everyone
yeah,
and the connection to lots of children around the world thinking that they are woof woof or meow, and that potentially the had in it woof woof meow DNA, and that it has impacted on their neuro pathways
Mm,
to the point where they believe that they are
mm,
these things.
yeah,
And why I've been fascinated by it is because obviously I'm being exposed to it via the schools right now, live as we speak, and it's happening. And I speak to a lot of families now about this topic, and it's definitely happening. And what interests me is that as I watch these people talking about it online, so often the mums and the dads go to bat for these kids who think they are woof woof or meows, and actually like start suing schools. Or like there was one case where they sued a vet and for not treating their woof woof child. It's just like madness. But so that we drew the parallel that potentially the parents and the child took the same and of course it's affected all of the whole family. And I just think it's really interesting because then when you look
yeah,
at sort of go into Egypt and go into the Anubis and go into all the sort of like fuckery around the timeline around Egypt, and where this sort of like potentially this hijacking or potentially this other energy has been, I guess, harnessed, shall we say, and maybe made manifest again.
mm,
And because obviously like the Anubis fascinate me because I've had that one moment with them. And um it definitely became obvious that Anubis mythology was essentially soulless, meaning, and when I think now of beings that are soulless, I actually think of AI. And I think of AI playing out in all sorts of like um manifestations, all sorts of morphed mythology and morphed beings, and the vacuum of space. Like I really relate that now to the AI concept. Or if you take away the AI and take it back to its core, potentially we're just talking about the black goo or the black, you know
yeah. And it came
and
up
so
years ago that they found some under the pyramids in Giza. It's interesting.
yeah, so if that black moo is speaking code now, that black moo was actually is the foundational energetic of the soulless creation, which is the lifeless creation. Then I think at the end of every reset charge, we live into a realm that is incorporated positively, negatively into that um other force, which I feel like, Campbell, is actually part of this realm and is never going to not be part of this realm.
Yeah, it's part of the dualism, right? Like that's dualistic, right? You hear it all the time. It's a dualistic realm, but I think, you need both energies, right? Both poles. I mean, magnets show us that, that's probably the way it is. But, how do you know what's good and makes you happy if you don't know what's bad and makes you sad, right?
Yeah,
I
I mean,
agree. And
I don't even know if we can even make that parallel anymore. Like, how free is our being, our soul, to really know anymore? Like, how morphed are we in between all of this stuff? I mean, we haven't had the for our whole adult lives, but when we were children, we most likely got it under the guise of measles or, whatever stupid thing that
yeah,
our parents just like lined us up for. And then all the shit that rains down. Oh, we all know the story. So I don't even know how
yeah.
interconnected we are.
Yeah, exactly. What's that disease where all the fibers start coming out of your skin?
Morgellons.
Morgellons. Yeah, I mean, and that was around way before we were talking about, the black.
Yeah, that was around
So,
215. I started seeing the Morgellon stuff
so I mean,
and
who
the
knows?
chicken
That could have
McNuggets.
been from, yeah, well, could have been from chicken McNuggets, or it could have been from childhood, you know, hands. And then when you grow up and they start enacting it all, it starts, who knows, right? But I
I
mean,
know.
it's like I was saying before, just being offline for 2 weeks, you realize how connected we are just through that means, right? Just through relying on it for pretty much most of our information, right? For everything, and even ordering
100%.
food and stuff and seeing stuff, paying your bills, doing your bank, like everything. So yeah, it's definitely creeping up.
Yep. Yep.
So
And
drink.
that Morgellons issue that came out around the 215, that's when I saw it anyway. That was basically the people who were rejecting the AI. They
Mm,
weren't the people sick from, their bodies were rejecting it, which means everyone else integrated it.
yeah, well, good point. Yeah. Well,
So
yeah. I mean, it's interesting, like the older generation to me, like the people in their sort of 70s and 80s, like our parents' age, back in the 70s and 80s, last century, they were all, you'd hear them all the time, don't trust politicians and don't sit too close to the telly and get outside and don't come back right until the sun stops shining, right? And now they all seem to
that's
be
right.
just glued to the TV and they just repeat news headlines to you and stuff. And it's like, when did this all change? So who knows?
It's interesting. Like I was in casino this morning, sitting there having a cup of tea, and I was watching a group of sort of ladies, and they were probably in their 60, 70 range, probably around the 70 range. Remind me of my mother, and they're like I was looking at them, and then next to them was another table of women, and they probably would have been in their 80s, maybe, and the difference in the two generations was, I don't know about the rest of the world, but in Australia, our grandparents, our grandmothers all looked the same. They all cut their hair really short and it's like a
Oh,
tight
but,
little curl.
yeah.
And there was this thing with purple rinse that went through where they all sort of had this purpley grey hair. I mean, this is serious. Like
True,
this
yeah.
is Australian.
And they were short and
And
hunched over a bit. Yeah, man. They all look the
yep, and they all had the same clothes on. This sort of like, these like like these matching long
and a
skirts and long
cardigan, so to
tops and
speak. Yeah.
cardigan and all the patterns and colors. And then you skip forward a generation or two, and they're sort of like these younger, older women were sort of like their hair was sort of the same length, about their gray and straight. I mean, I can't fucking talk, but gray and straight. And like little white denim jackets with like white pants and little white sneakers and a nice sort of like pastely
Yeah.
light jumper. And it's just like that's the new look.
Interesting.
And
Yeah,
I was just
that's funny. Yeah.
and I was just looking and they were just like how what's the word, monoculture our generations end up being, that we all sort of sit there it basically ending up looking exactly the same and speaking exactly the same
Yeah.
tonalities,
And
the
surrounding
same.
yourselves with people with the exact same views.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that,
It's
that's not a good way to grow. I mean, yeah, no, That's interesting. Yeah, it's so true though that they've now got the straight white grey
Yeah.
hair and like the
Yeah.
fringe and yeah, man, it's
And
crazy.
they've all got their little you know, Tupperware container of all their medicines that they have to take and have been taking for the last 20 years, everything, blood pressure, heart medication, blood thinners, blah 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 blah, blah. They've all got a Tupperware container. Like it's just it's so funny. Anyway, I don't know why I noted that. I just observed it today thinking, yeah, I mean, I wonder what our generation's going to
Ours would
end
look
up
like,
looking
yeah,
like.
man. I don't know. Scruffy.
Skanky. I was about to say
Smoking
skanky.
joints.
We'll all have lung cancer. But no, only kidding. Only kidding. Don't say that
We'll
out
be the cool generation, man.
loud. There'll be heaps of innovations by then.
Yeah.
It's me and
Yes.
my little smoker's cough. But yes, anyway, what were we talking about? Well, I was about to, oh yeah. So yeah, we were drawing these parallels. So that was right at the end of the video. So the first part, we were just talking about what it means to repent, the repentance, what that would even look like today in modern terms. Like, and basically we got to the conclusion that all it really meant was that you accept Jesus Christ as the Lord and Savior of your being and say sorry for anything you've done wrong. That's actually what it looked like, and ask for forgiveness from the Lord. And then once you've done that, all you have to do with your whole life after that is to convert other people.
Mm,
Like, and you know, and I just think that's the bit this week that I've been bitching about.
mm.
The conversion.
Yeah, well, the replication is kind of what it is, right? Like they're trying to replicate themselves, I guess, with people with the same beliefs. And it's interesting, isn't it, when people get into it, into the Christian religion, especially, I mean, probably all of them, that becomes their whole world. Like
Yeah.
everything else sort of tends to fall away, and
Yeah.
all of from an outsider's perspective, at least, most of what they used to be passionate about and made them unique, it falls away, and they
Yeah.
become part
Well,
of this
it's
conglomerate of yeah.
well, that was my bitch because basically, like, if you were to accept Jesus Christ as the Lord God of your being, the Lord and Savior of your being, which I mean, I'll get onto that topic in a minute, but literally, if you do that, you have to then repent and stop taking any actions that the Lord has denoted as against the Lord or not making the Lord happy or not part of the Lord's plan and basically making it thus demonic. So anything that the Lord has condemned as a bad practice is then put into the demonic category, which is really fucking annoying because if you look at it from the perspective of our tribe, like all the things that I love and adore about the people around us, you know, are that they're energy workers, that they have literally found a pathway in their mind, heart, and soul to work with energy that they generate from their beings to heal others, to heal others. That who are the you know, the ones that are interested in sort of the more shamanic ancient practices that will look at plant medicines, that will look at thing, you know, that classically will use things like fire, sage, candles,
Hmm.
crystals, will call on guides for support. They will put energetic protection around you. They will guide you through meditations and visualizations. Their whole premise is to help you heal fragmentation in your soul energy, whether it be trauma or whatever, you know, fragmented parts of yourself. And all of that is condemned by the Lord. All of that. Using your psychic
Right.
abilities is condemned by the Lord. Reading the stars is condemned by the Lord, which, Campbell, was actually part of the Bible.
That's
You
how
know, that they,
those men found Jesus when he was born, was by the stars. It tells you.
yeah, astrology is all the way through that damn book. But no, not for us. For us, his servants, you are not to do that. Now, here's my fucking beef with it, just so we're clear with the audience here. So everyone knows where I stand now this week. But this is my beef. Like, if you were to be put onto this realm and to develop as an individual you develop natural gifts and talents that are within you. And from that state, you make decisions to work with that natural gift and energy and focus and interest in service to others. And
Yep.
that is basically an evolving spiritual human being who is service to others, and wanting to heal and help humankind and all living beings, in
And,
fact.
and as far as we can tell, that's how Jesus lived. Right?
Exactly, exactly. So then we've got this situation where we see, so like, people give all of that up, everything that makes them unique, individualized, and all their gifts and all their talents and all their desires to serve and to help and to heal, give all of that up, even though the Lord has gifted it and granted it to you in your very incarnation. Have to give it all up and not use any of it. And your only purpose in this realm is to get off the earth and go into the heavens and convert people to this thinking. It's so, like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, exactly. That's the part I never got is why would you live this life in servitude to whatever just to get somewhere else? Like basically, they're telling you to not worry about this life. It doesn't mean anything. It's all about getting to the next life. But I mean, so why are we here? Why did God
What's the
create?
fucking point?
Yeah, and it says God
Exactly.
created the earth, right? In 7 days, and then man and woman and all this. Like, why? Because what? He's an egomaniac who just wants people down there that he created to worship him, so he can say, "Okay, now you can come back." I mean, you
I
know,
know. Why not just, like, but birth us void of our own individualization? Like, what's the
exactly.
purpose of giving us that? What's the purpose of giving us faculties of being able to utilize energy, imagination, intuition, psychic abilities, love, vibration, sound modalities, all of them? What's the purpose of
Yep.
that being provided if we were not meant to use any of it? I mean, that fucking pisses me off. And then, like, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord, just say it like 10 times, people. This Lord, just
Good.
that whole word.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
know, Campbell, that there's so many lords, there's so many gods in that Bible, right? There's so many
Yeah.
gods in that Bible. We just happen to have a sucky, jealous one.
Yeah, man. And Lord, the House of Lords, the Lords in England, they tell you like Lords, like, and you're not supposed to call yourself by the name of God as far as the Christian book, as far as I know. But I mean, the other thing, about the Bible, like Christians don't adhere to it really. It says that don't have any of those or even get tattoos. How many Christian people do you see with big crosses tattooed on their arms and stuff, or whatever else? And I mean, it tells you, a lot about diet and stuff. Most of them just go to the supermarket. Like most Christians don't really follow the Bible, but then they try and convert you to, and it's like it's weird, isn't it? It's like they forget the Bible. It's just, oh no, just accept him as your Lord and Savior. And it's like, well, if I don't read the Bible, what am I accepting for the first point? But you should practice what you preach, right? Like, and this is the thing. If it makes you a better person, you go out and be a better person, people will see that. And then you may convert some people. I don't know, right? But we didn't get
I
the
mean,
Bible. That's how we got the Bible, because people watched Jesus and went, wow, what's he doing? That's cool. Let's, ask him. Let's write stuff down. But now that's all out the window, apparently.
mate, I tell you what, like, I just make this very clear to everyone and also the Lord listening. So I'm obviously never going to get raptured after
Gosh,
this statement,
that's
but
a lot of
I am the Lord God of my being. There,
Mm.
I said it. So rain down the terror, but I am the Lord God of my being. There's no Lord over me. There's no God over me. I am the Lord God of my being. And from that, I will use my God-given talents and gifts to express and to serve in any way I feel fit, because I am the Lord fucking God of my being. And that is, like, the idea that we go from this shitty, satanic, negative charge realm to a positive, realm where I have a lord above my head, from one fucking slave mentality bullshit to the next, drives me friggin' sane. I am never going to sit with that information. I am never going to accept that I have a master.
Mm.
I do not have a fucking master. What am I? Like a fucking German Shepherd? Like I
Yeah.
do not
You were
have a
drone.
master.
Yeah.
I mean, from that conversation, Campbell, it's really interesting to see all these woof woof and meow meow children, because essentially they are an embodiment, a metamorphosis of literally having a master reality.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Pets that we keep. You're the master, right? You can't be one of those without a master. So it's interesting, right? How it all. Yeah. It's a crazy world, but yeah, I agree. Like everyone's the god of themselves and their body, like that's why we were given choice. That's why we were given all this stuff to wonder about, to make us think, right? I mean, look at nature. It makes you ponder the universe. It like why would that be there if we're not supposed to ponder and come up with our own, perspectives and ideas and I mean, again, be like Jesus was, go and help people. And that's what most people, the healers and all these people who are denounced, that's what they're doing. They're doing their best to help others,
I know. I
right?
know. And it makes them fascinating human beings, interesting human beings, like evolving human beings, heart-based human beings, like great storytellers, very engaged, very alive human beings, like as if that can be condemned. Anyway, the point is, as I am the Lord God of my being, thank you very much. As I am that, I choose my tribe. I've chosen it. So the reason I'm talking about this today, because we've kind of become a Christian bashing statement, but we're not mean to be, right? Cam and I are just like interested in it because
Yeah,
it's around us right now, you know. And if we're in Islam, we'd be bashing that, and if we're in Asian country, we'd be bashing that. But
well,
like right now, here we are. Hi, Western world, we're bashing your religion. Sorry, but
yeah,
anyway, here we are.
leave
But
no stone unturned. That's the Bible.
because it's on lots of people's minds. Because in the West, you're kind of having to make a stand. You're having to decide because a lot of this prophecy is wrapped up in the Christian biblical, um,
Yeah,
literature or understanding or consciousness. So I have made my decision, and it's taken me a while. You guys have watched, like me, agonize with Campbell for the last couple of months, where I sit with this, where I stand, how deep I'm going to go on the topic. But I've chosen. I've decided that I know who my tribe is. My tribe are the people of the earth. They're the earth people. They are the people who are in nature, who turn to nature, who have a connection with elders, who are shamanic based, who practice energy healings and all of those modalities, who are the artists, the musicians, the creators, who are the great thinkers, who are the writers and authors. They're my people. That's my tribe. They are the ones that stand around the campfire with me and speak masterful conversations and don't take it personally and don't run off crying, who can actually speak at a deep, deep, long, long level like Campbell and I can do for ages and ages and ages and not hurt each other's feelings and actually be able to like handle deep and high-end conversation and not take the fucking shit personally. That's my people.
yeah,
My people are dirty. They smoke. They're covered in grot and sweat and dirt from their lifestyles. They wee outside. They eat from their gardens. Like they're agonizing about the right way to get their way through this poisoned realm. They're my people. That's my tribe. So I don't want to go to heaven. Note, I don't want to do that. I'm not interested. I actually am not. I want to stay here on the earth and watch the positively charged realm flood up from under the earth and out through me. I want to participate in that. I am going to stay here and be with that vibe. Like I don't want to escape this planet like that. I
yeah.
mean, I don't I
Mm.
don't want to escape like that. I don't want to be raptured. I don't want to float off and with total no conclusion on any topic. It's just part like I'm just floating up to sit with the Lord, master of my being, at his
Yeah.
feet and watch the world burn in flames and fuck it.
After your one and
I
only incarnation, yeah, I mean, I know, right? that's the thing. Like, what I think we mentioned it last time. What are you doing in this heaven place? Like, apart from watching your friends and family burn. But the other thing is, they say go to the temple, right? The temple of God. I mean, what have we got here on our heads, right? We've got temples, right, in the heavens of our body. Like, hello, that's it.
That's because you are, Campbell, the Lord God of your being, and I really like hanging out with you. I like hanging out with lords. I like hanging out with masters. I don't have a master, but I fucking love hanging out with masters. I love hanging out with masterful human beings. I'm cool with that. Look, honestly, if I made it to heaven, I'd be dumped within a day. Within a day, I'd be denounced and sent right back. On a floating frozen volcano called a comet.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah, and just quickly
So
on lords and masters and all these of themselves. Um, we're going to do another show in August. So if you're somewhere that you want us to come, if you've got somewhere that can hold 100 or so campers and a hall that'll hold a few hundred people, send us an email. Go to
yep.
tartaria.com and
Yep.
tartariaustralia.com and get the link that says contact or email or whatever and send us an email. And we'll turn up.
Absolutely. Super cool. Yeah. So, well, look, today's Friday the 12th, April 2024, and I've declared that I'm the Lord Master of my being. I'm assuming you're declaring the same.
Yes, man. I've
And
always been the God of my temple, man. Yeah.
yes, and we're staying here on earth. We do not want to be raptured or removed or taken to heaven. So, yeah, good. That's done. I'm done.
Yeah,
I feel
good.
complete on this topic, Campbell. No one, I doubt, will be able to change my mind after this. Every conversation I have after this will be here at this place. I'm no longer
Yeah.
going to continue to watch and keep my consciousness on the topic. I'm done with it. So we can move on now. Is there anything else, any last words you'd like to say on the
I was just
topic,
going to say it
Campbell?
shows you how strong the programming and the fear is, right? That it takes you that long because that's really what you're getting over, right? Is what if I'm wrong? Will I go to bed? Like that's just all.
Well,
It's like any other propaganda that we know about. It's if it's all coming from positions of authority and they're making money off it and control, then I mean, we should know by now, right?
indeed. Well, I'm a slow learner, Campbell. I think I've been here a very long time trying to figure all this out. I don't think I'm very smart. I think I'm very unsmart, actually. I think it takes me a long time. I think I have to really think
Yeah,
about it deeply
but that's
and
because you're
slowly.
wise, right? I mean, yeah. Who wants to be smart? Smart is just regurgitating facts, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Okay, so now what can we talk about? Because now I'm done, Campbell.
You're
So you better
now
have another
you've
topic up your
ascended.
sleeve.
You've ascended to the high ranks. Oh, okay, another topic. Well, just on all that stuff too. Like I was talking to Tara the other day. She's in Serbia at the moment at the Ratanj Earthen Pyramid, and she
Now,
was
for those who don't know who Tara is, she is well, you could introduce her so everyone knows what you're talking about.
yes, Tara's the amazing lady who's organised the Bosnian Balkans and Bosnian Pyramid tour that is starting in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Tickets are sold
Yeah.
out, but we have got another one in September. But basically, she was saying that no one over there is talking about any of these raptures or the end of the earth and these kind of conspiracies that don't exist there. So
Yeah.
that's the other thing is, we've got to understand we're in an echo chamber too, right? It might be a bigger one, but we don't know what's going on in the rest of the world, and to sort of, make decisions in your mind on what's going to happen to the entire Earth based on what's going on in a small percentage of it is,
Mm-hmm.
probably not, being self-educated, shall we say?
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. We should be able to question everything, right? And if people get offended at certain statements or questions, then it's you. It's you that's getting because not everyone's getting offended. That just means that there's something in you got to deal with, right? And most of the
Yeah.
time, it's got to do with the belief structure, and you're not really 100% on board with it because if you're getting triggered, you clearly don't believe 100% what you say you do.
Well, it takes ages to make a choice. I mean, I take ages, like, to actually determine and stand sovereignly with a choice and have that form now an element of my moral coding or my values or my belief structure. It takes me a long time, man. Like I think, I did the I Ching. I got the I Ching done on me once. And I don't know if you know much about the I Ching. Do you know much about the I Ching?
Little bit,
No,
the
I
coins
didn't know
and
much about it.
Japanese, yeah.
Yeah, but like basically a part of the I Ching, and maybe in the chat someone will have more elegant, information on it. But basically from my memory of it, there's like there's 4 different possibilities with how your energy flows, and sort of like the ascended masters will have one center, so all the energy flow through one center, so they have a very amalgamated focal point. And the majority of people sit at the 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. But I'm in this trippy little vortex where something like 0.001% of the population has 4, meaning that my energy splits into 4 ways, which means that I literally can hold 4 very paradoxical, paralleled points of view at all times. So it takes me a long time to make a singular decision on any topic, So as you've noted, probably with how I think about lots of things. So yeah, I mean, it feels good. I'm good, but now I feel empty. Like I need a new Rubik's
You
Cube
need
to
something
chew
else
on.
to contemplate. Yeah, I mean, but that's good, right? That's how we should be. We should be getting different perspectives and points of view and working out things and coming to proper conclusions rather than just believing what people tell us. Oh, that's a fact. Oh, that's a fact. Oh, I watched
Do
a
you think
video
that
on it. Ooh.
do you think that I've become anti-heaven?
Well, you just said you don't want to go there and stuff.
So I'm anti-heaven. I am anti-heaven. Wow, okay, that's interesting. Oh, okay, I've just opened up 4 new vortex thought processes.
Go, nice.
So
You can
I'm
put that in your bio now.
anti-heaven.
Anti-heavenist.
So that would make me from the Christian perspective pro demonic.
Well, that's what they would say, but that they,
Mm.
even though it's a polarized, bipolar, world, there's not just 2 answers to every question. There's many answers. I mean, you talk to Buddhists and they're like, "What about nirvana, man?" And all these other places, which
I'm anti-nirvana as well.
nirvana.
I'm anti-emptiness.
Yeah, their albums weren't that good. Paul Kurt, R.I.P. Nirvana. Sorry, dad jokes, right? But yeah, it's the
I'm
whole thing like wrapped around this prison planet, right? Which you hear a lot of talk about. It's a bad place. Oh, we've just got to get out of here. We've got to find a way out. We've got to do this. We've got to do that. But maybe we're supposed to enjoy it while we're here, right? Like
Well,
maybe
I'm anti the prison planet as well.
good, good.
Yes, because
Oh my,
because
it's
from
not.
my perspective of being pro the Earth Tribe, um, then from that perspective, the reason I'm pro the Earth Tribe is because like characteristically, historically, through my whole life, it's the Earth Tribe that has emitted the most service to humankind, the most love and the vibrational. That's the other element, right? Oh, I thought said we'd stop talking about it, but look here, I've got more. So the element of, if you've been given these God-given, I can't even say that term anymore. If you've been given these gifts, or you've evolved yourself to have these gifts, because I like the idea that, each lifetime we master things and we take that wisdom, that what we take through our incarnation is the wisdom that we've acquired. And that's not knowledge, that's personal experience. And that wisdom then gives us, obviously, a heads up in that lifetime, some accumulated, skill set there, which we put down to talents or gifts. And from that, we emit, when we follow the things that we naturally love, we emit higher frequencies, higher vibrational, which is why the healers, the Earth Tribe, can heal, because they're emitting a high frequency of service to others, like to heal others and to heal. All they do is they want to heal others and they want to heal the earth. That's a very unselfish action, because it's characteristically, you go broke in this path line. It's not like
You
you
do.
don't have that shiny lifestyle, that social media lifestyle that everyone's trying to obtain. Like, you don't have that. So, but you do have this natural desire to do that and to help others. And that helping of others is a higher frequency. So if we're on a frequency-based reality, then that to me would be the place that I would be comfortable sitting at. I mean, like this show, Campbell, you and I, we're besties, we're good friends. Yeah, we've spoken a lot about every topic. Do you feel that we do this show because it emits an energetic that is in service to others? Is that one of your driving energetics?
Yeah, for
Like, what
sure.
gets you up to do this?
Yeah. Well, I think, yeah, I think a lot of people get stuff out of it. I mean, to me, the biggest thing is to, try and give people better questions, right? And I think this show does it. And that's tied to, I want them to have better questions because it will help evolve them, right? And sort of get them to a better place, not necessarily financially or anything, but yeah, it's all about evolving, raising the frequency and all of that. So yeah, I'd say the same thing. And of course, none of these shows we've never, our biggest script is like literally a sentence. Let's talk about this, okay? And so I think that's also, letting whatever flow through us, right? Like, a lot of the times we'll do shows and it's like, oh, what did we talk about? Or you listen back to them, it's like, did I say that? Because we're not pushing a message, we're just talking and seeing what comes out and being our true selves and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it's a high frequency, high vibing show.
Yeah,
Sure.
because
It's
this
swear
whole
words,
the whole Earth tribe energetic, not the environmentalists, even though they sit kind of vaguely in that genre, but the Earth tribe, like it's none of that Earth tribe energetic is focused on emergency. Like it's actually focused on emergence. And this is a big turn that I've taken with carbonate, like actually shifting the conversation from the emergency that's unfolding within the environment to the emergence of what is coming. And so I feel that that's sort of where we sit as a community.
Mm.
Like we're interested in the emergent energy, the emerging of consciousness, the emergence of moving towards the emergence of a positively charged realm. And that's a very clear distinction in my head, like where one
Yeah,
sits. If you sit in the emergency energetic, it's very full of a programming and rhetoric.
stress,
Whereas
fear, all
yeah,
that. It's not thinking, right? When you see it as things emerging, then you're in the solutions realm. You're suddenly thinking, how do I help this? And you're looking for
yeah,
solutions
yeah,
rather than when you're in the emergency, all you're seeing is problems.
yeah.
And
And yeah,
in the end, helping nature and people, I mean that's God's creation, right? I mean, how could you be a better, servant to God if that's what you want to be, rather than helping what He created, which is apparently His most grand creation, right?
it's so funny to me that you could essentially be given a book called the Bible. Here I go again. And in that Bible, you're given like I guess like a prereq to what is God. You're given a list of instructions to what is God. And yet you stand here completely unaware of who you are. Like you have been stripped of any memory to denote that you came from somewhere, who you are, where you came from, what you are, what your purpose is, like
Mm.
the shape of the earth we stand on, what is the earth and where does it sit? What's next to the earth, what's around the earth, what are the other beings around there? Like you completely been put into a paradigm where you are so fucking ignorant to
Mm.
the most basic under like if we were really talking about the Bible denotes like really our creator, then like surely that creator is a bastard for like amnesitizing us and then
Mm.
making us go, here, I'm going to amnesitize you and then I'm going to give you a set of rules that you're not even going to remember or have any sense of where they came from or why you're interacting or how you got here. And then this is your creator. Like, why would we be given the idea of here is your creator, and yet they haven't even bothered to like fill in all the other ignorance, which
Yeah.
is on every other topic, you
Yeah.
know? Like it just sounds like such a false paradigm.
Oh, it is, man. When you start taking it apart, it's completely false. And that's without all the contradictions and stuff through the Bible. But in the end of it, especially the Old Testament, right? God's not a nice dude, man. He's the jealous god, right? And it's all about servitude. He sounds more like a prison warden than, it's like, here you are. Okay, these are the rules. I'm your boss. If you do this, you'll be okay. If you do this, you go into the lockup for 3 days. It's the same
That's
system.
right. And I'll give you, yeah, it's so much like a a lunatic asylum, like you go in there, you've got little like shards in your mind that are giving you contradictory ideas and you're free thinking for a moment. You get put into a lunatic asylum. Then they give you electric shock therapy and then they annihilate your brain waves and then they tell you what is what. And then if you accept it, you're released. Sort of that's what Christianity feels like to me. Like I'm going to amnesize you,
Yeah, man.
strip you of
Inquisition.
all elegance, of all wisdom, of all accrued wisdom, and all I'm going to strip you of all of that. And yet here's your book.
Mm.
Here's what you are to believe in. Like fucking hell, man.
I know,
Like
right?
far out.
Creation, yeah, and they want us to sort of hone in on this little one tiny part, forget everything else, not have new experiences, just go round in circles. Which again, right, sounds a lot like the control system. It's
Like if you're a Christian, Campbell, like wouldn't you be fucking pissed off right now? If you have acknowledged that this is your Lord and Savior, aren't you pissed off at it?
where's he
Aren't
coming?
you saying,
Come
how
on,
dare you?
Jesus. But
I
also,
mean, thinking like,
well, this is the thing, like, yeah, why would he put us in this particular time? Because again, they've only got one life. You'd be a bit annoyed, right? Especially a lot of
oh,
Christians talking about, the season of Satan is coming, and we've mentioned this before too. Like, I mean, it seems like we might be in it, or the negative side. Yeah, how can we get this experience? And then, if we look into the past, it seems that people had much better experiences, right? There wasn't all this control and all this nefariousness going on. So, yeah, it's yeah, I'd be feeling ripped off. I'd be like, dude, come on, like, really? Like, oh, you've got to, be there a certain way to go to heaven, right? And avoid hell. But
yeah.
it looks like he's kind of put us in hell and we've already go through that first anyway, right? It's very
This is
strange.
what I think. This human me. This made me laugh. Let's just watch this on repeat on a loop for a little while for our community. Can you read that? This is what I feel like you and I do all the time. This is so fucking funny. I just thought that was hilarious.
It's been 4 years of this already. That's funny, right?
By the way, in Australia, this digital currency is coming into place, by the
Oh,
way. So Hamilton Island has been declared a cash-free society. So you can no longer use cash on Hamilton Island, which is an island off the coast of Australia, very popular tourist destination. And they're starting to really push this whole that during the week of the eclipse, a bill got signed in Parliament, talking basically passing the digital ID. So no debate, no nothing, just pass the digital ID, which is pretty bad, everyone.
yeah. Well, there's also talk of the USA joining BRICS, joining the gold standard, and
Yep.
that would be a good thing. That would have a lot of
There was
ramifications,
actually
money system. So that's good.
there's a country this week went onto the gold system that they've given their people like 2 weeks to get all their money sorted. I don't was it like somewhere random, like Czechoslovakia, somewhere random. I'm just scrolling because I'm
Must be a new
finding
one. I know there's like BRICS is what Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
this chick was good.
But a lot of people want to join it. All right, what's this chick gonna say?
Yeah, I'm just showing you some of. I love this Facebook page, by the way. For everyone who posts on the Tartarian Facebook page, I fucking love you. There's almost 20,000 people on it, and
Oh,
it's just
nice.
like so much good content. But I like this. This is a good summary of
Spirituality, nobody can teach it to you. You need to get the fundamentals of any books, any spiritual system. You can get the fundamentals and then look at inside of you and then determine how you are going to use the fundamental principles to improve your life. But nobody can tell you, you must pray every Friday, you must do this every Saturday, you must do that every Sunday. No, because what is good for you is not necessarily what I need. You may need to go into yourself and meditate 100 times a day. And even the same person will not need it the same way all the time. You, in certain circumstances, you need to be meditating and finding all your forces, gathering all your forces continuously certain days. And then other days you may not even think about it. It doesn't mean you don't pray. Because everything you say, if you're living your own life, if you are who you are, and you know who you are, and you live working towards realizing your mission in life, every sound of it out of your mouth is a prayer. Make is a prayer. Every dance you dance is a prayer. And when you make love with somebody, you are praying. If you know who you are, and they are.
That's right. That's right.
There isn't anything that you do that is not a prayer.
Fuck yeah.
When you know who you are.
I love that.
Yeah, that's cool. I
So,
got it.
she's part of my tribe. Anyway, the thing that I'm trying to find here is an hilarious thing. I'm just looking at the funny things. Obviously, the channel's full of excellent information all over the place. But let me just see if I can find it, because it was Greta Thunberg. Did I send it to you before?
No, I don't think so.
Sorry if I'm making everyone dizzy. Should I take it off?
No, that's cool.
Let me
Have
stop sharing.
skills for a
So,
while.
oh, is it cool?
How's Greta? Show,
All
yeah,
right.
how's Greta? What's
All
Greta
right, I've
up
got to
to?
find it though. I didn't want to make every. Oh, wait, I may have turned the sound off. Sorry, everyone. I was trying not to make you fucking dizzy. But anyway, let's just keep scrolling. It was a week ago now, so I have to go down a bit. Anyway, it was really hilarious because this will be for the Aussies out there. Someone put the famous Greta Thunberg speech of like, how dare you?
How dare you? You stole my childhood.
You stole my childhood. Fucking fuck off. And they put it into an Aussie pub. It's just like really funny. But oh shit, I've got to find it. It's been a while. Oh, maybe I find it on WhatsApp. Anyway, so how are you going with the whole Tartarian conversation, mate? Like, this has been a few years. We're looking at the same information now over and over again from so many different perspectives. Are you bored yet?
No, I'm still interested in finding interesting things. I went through West Virginia, listening to John Denver, by the way, the other
Oh,
day.
yes.
And
Yes.
in the middle of the capital, Charleston, which has like less than 50,000 people, there's this massive, massive like Capitol building with this huge golden dome on the top of it.
Oh, yes.
In the middle of nowhere. Then we went to a memorial for one of the presidents, and it looks like it's built on a step pyramid. I mean, I think we're still uncovering. I think there's tons in Australia, but it's all covered. And
Yeah.
it's like all the you can find pictures everywhere of all the pyramids through South America. And when they were found, they were all hills. They were all, none of them were just like the pyramids. They were all hills that had to be dug out. And I think Australia's like that. I think it's covered in stuff that just needs to be dug out. So I still find it interesting. I'm a bit of a history geek. And of course, we're going to be getting more boots on the ground on the tours. We'll be showing all these cool places and getting the stories. And in the end, it's just breaking the stories down more and more, isn't it? It's just breaking the spell more. And so I still think Tartaria is small, right, as far as the world stage. But I still think it's one of the best tools to wake people up with.
I mean, for sure,
To get them
100%.
asking different questions, right, of what's going on, because much out there now.
I'm not finding it.
Jules, can you search? Can you search Greta? Is there a
No.
function? But look
No,
at all
let
this
me
great
stop share.
content, people. If you're not a member,
I know there's so much
follow
cool
us,
shit
come
going
and
on. Oh,
join.
well, this is let's just check this out. This is the
G'day everyone, it's Senator Ralph Abed here. Just want to make a quick little video to let you know that the digital ID bill has passed just now. It was supported by the Greens, the Labor Party, Senator David Van, Senator David Pocock, Senator Jackie Lambie and Senator Tammy Tyrrell. So basically everyone except for the Coalition, One Nation and of course yours truly, the United Australia Party. It is a sad day for freedom today. Like I've always said, this digital ID has the ability to lead towards a social credit system. It has the ability to really weaponize the central bank digital currency, and it's all round. Who trusts the government to have that much information that belongs to us in a central place? It is not going to end well anyway. But yes, it has passed. Next election, vote one UAP. If we ever have the ability to, we will repeal it. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man. Government for the people and by the people. Hey, whatever happened to that? Now they don't even know how to do stuff.
It's so annoying, so annoying.
It is.
Anyway, just plods on, doesn't it? I mean, you've got to have hope that something that we're on. Oh, remember that? We got to have hope that we are on the right path here with the concept of the resets and the shift in from a negative to a positive realm. Like that to me is like, you know, it helps me settle in this current realm without being just basically grumpy all the time. I've started to write, Campbell. Did I tell you that? Every single morning for an hour before I start my job, I have been writing down my little crazy stories from my lifetime. I don't know if anyone out there's watched.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if anyone out there has watched Two Aussie Birds, that one of the last interviews I did with JCK, but it does go through some of my very crazy lifetime stories. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to start writing this shit down.
Yeah.
And so maybe by this time next year, I don't know if anyone will be interested, but maybe there'll be a little book.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm
gonna take it.
I'm about 50 pages into my book, so there you go, right?
Campbell's doing it, mate.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. What's your book about?
It's just about how I think, like how I see the world, kind of thing, autodidactic type stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not really about me, but just trying
It'll
to
be
get
so
questions.
It'll be so interesting if we release a book on around the same period, Campbell, how our different consciousness have like what comes out of us. Mine is nothing. I'm not making any commentary on anything. I'm just sharing all the bizarre stories that have happened to me and why I end up getting so grumpy.
Yeah, you've definitely got to do the Kindle version, right? Video book in your voice.
All right, I found it. So this is just something fun and cute that I just thought was fucking funny, and it's just so Australian. It's so Aussie. If anyone in the world wants to like get their head around the Aussie humor, this to me summed it up. So check it out.
Yeah, it's good.
My message is that we'll be watching you.
What?
This is all wrong.
What's wrong? I'm just having a few beers. What are you, the ABC?
I shouldn't be up here.
No, you probably should be at school.
I should be back in school.
I just said that.
You all come to us young people for hope.
What? No, I go to young people to help me fix my internet and get onto Netflix for free.
How dare you?
What? Put the phone down, Russell.
You have stolen my dreams.
Your dreams? Wait till you get married, sweetheart.
How dare you?
Look, settle, pedal. I'm just having a beer, you know? Like, people aren't suffering.
People are suffering.
Well, people aren't dying.
People are dying. How dare you continue to look away?
Can't I just have this? I mean, I haven't flown halfway around the world in jet planes, and look, I don't even own a big F-off V8 Land Cruiser.
How dare you?
Ash, shouldn't the kids be away from the bar?
How dare you come here saying that you're doing enough?
Look, I'll probably just have a few more beers.
The politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight.
Our pollies can't even build a dam in 50 years.
You say you hear us,
Nah, can't hear ya.
and you are still not mature enough to tell it like it is.
Because you're mine.
It's where we draw the line.
What? That's not the lyric.
We will not let you get away with this.
Look, I'll happily get you a pink lemonade and a packet of chips,
Pink
maybe.
lemonade.
And if you choose to fail us, I say we will never forgive you.
Jesus Christ. I mean, why having a whinge about something? Whinge to ash to get a few more younger chicks in here, you know? It's about time for a change.
And change is coming whether you like it or not.
Excellent, thank you. Can I get you a beer?
Thank you.
All right, Greta.
teach
So
myself.
that was funny. It just entertained me. Hang on, turn that shit
That
off.
was the attitude though as well, isn't it? Just let me do my business.
Get it? If you like any what sense of the Aussie humor, I thought that summed it up really well. So
Yeah.
I don't know, Campbell. Like we haven't really specifically had any brainwave breakthroughs
No.
today, but I feel like I've had an important session with you
Well,
today.
you have claimed
I've
your
made a creed.
yourself, yeah, man.
Yep,
You've become
I've
an
created it out.
anti-heavenist and Lord of
So
your own
I'm an
domain.
anti-heavenist. Mm. Well, so be it. So that's it. So I won't be raptured, everyone. So that means that Campbell, and I don't think Campbell will be raptured. So you plan to be raptured? Okay. So that means we'll keep broadcasting through the rapture, and
We're talking
for
about
all those, yeah,
Well, the good
or
news.
underneath the pyramid. And we will be here to tell the tale right up until essentially, hopefully, the charge shifts from negative to positive, and we
Yeah,
see
man.
this new era coming forth and have survived it. So I'm quite focused there now.
We're going to host
So
you
that's
through
it.
the whole change, man. From dark to light, as they say. We'll be your hosts.
That's right. That's right. Go Tartaria, Australia. Sticking it in to the end for you guys, right? Sticking it out
man.
here in the apocalypse. No backstage passes required. All right, everyone. Well, excellent. So Campbell and I'll be on next week as usual, and probably the week after that. And then we will be live from Bosnia. We will keep broadcasting and doing the show as usual, and we'll be around, 50 other people who will probably most likely end up being guests on the show. And yeah, you'll get to see a bit of the other side of the world and see what's going down there. I think it would have been excellent if Campbell had been in India or China with us, because we would have been on a podcast from those two very contrasting countries. But let's start with Bosnia and see what
Bosnia.
everyone's thinking about it there. And it'll be cool because we'll be able to actually talk to real human beings, localized human beings, all our tribe, by the way. Like, we're interacting and staying in places that are all the Earth tribe from that region.
Yep.
So it'll be really interesting to have these conversations with other cultures. Yeah.
Yeah, we've definitely got some fireplaces at some of the places we can sit around and chat around the fire, and no doubt learn some very cool stuff, and we shall report it back, and some footage of some cool places where we go, including the castle where they shot Game of Thrones. We can do a little act up there, but yeah, it's going to be awesome, and we'll take you with us. So
We will take you with us. So for all the healers, all the hippies, all the artists, all the creators, all the writers, all the musicians, all the ones that are standing with the elders and the earth, like, it's okay. We're all going to be here together, and Campbell and I will be right beside you. So fuck it all off. All the rest of it, fuck it off. If it's making you feel weird, if it's making you question who you are, if it's making you feel bad about what you're doing, just get rid of it now. Move on. New chapter.
In my new book, right? It's people are what they do, not what they say.
People are what they do. Yep. And not what they say. I agree with you, Campbell.
There you go.
I can be pretty grumpy, though. I
You
just think
can.
that I'm a really old, grumpy man, tree trunk being. It's like a retarded one that's been here a long fucking time. The
He's
dunce of the
overall.
class. I feel I'm the dunce of the class, Campbell. If this is if evolution has anything to do with it, yeah, it's taken me a long time, and I can admit that and be okay with it. All right. Well, look, everyone, have an amazing week, and keep sending stuff to the Facebook group. I love watching it. I don't comment. I don't know what other people are commenting. I know there's some some bullshit trolling in there, but I don't care. And if you can be bothered to troll, fucking hell, man. What a waste of time for yourself. It doesn't affect me or Campbell or the community. We're just giving you space to vent, be an idiot. That's all right with us.
Yeah, if you want to show yourself to the world, go for it, man.
All right. So love you, buddy. And you have a really good week in America. And now that you're back online, I expect next week you have some actual observations to share. I want some input from the Americans.
All right.
Yeah, man. Get out there and vox pop. I want some input from the Americans. I want to know where they're at.
Cool. I'll get a soapbox, go stand in the city square and ask them.
That's what I would like. Yes, that's what would be really great. Yeah, go medieval on their asses. I like it. All right. Okay, everyone. You have the best week ever, and we'll see you next week for Tartaria, Australia. Bye.
Bye.